Hello everyone and welcome to Math 2412 Pre-Calculus for Summer. My name's Terry Barnes and I'll be helping you with this relatively short journey. I wanted to take this opportunity on the video to show you where everything is in the course and share my expectations of how you could best work to be successful. So let's look at everything that we see here. So first of all, be sure you check announcements. They'll be here. There will be at least one a week on probably Sundays. There may be one in between. So be sure you're checking your announcements. Content is over here. I have put the things that are really important for you. So you don't have to go anywhere else. You should be able to just use this box. When you're ready to do work, you'll go here for homework and tests, and you can check your grades here. You can get the e-text here. So that ought to get you going there. But now let's start looking at these items and see what we have. The syllabus or instructor plan, we're not going to read it all. You should read it all. But we're going to go through this, and first thing is talking about instructor information. And here is my email address and my office phone number. I'm not on campus during summer one, so if you call and leave a voicemail, I will get an email, and that will allow me to hear your voicemail if you needed to do that. This course is offered as inclusive access. That means when you paid your tuition, you do not have to buy a hard copy of the book. Your e-text is included with it. You do need a graphing calculator. I teach with the TI-84, a newer version of this one, but any of those would work. If you are really familiar with, say, an Inspire or some other calculator that will allow you to do the work, you're welcome to use that. I just don't teach with that one. So keep that in mind. Down here, course attendance participation. If you are not in and working before the census date, we are required to drop you. So be sure that you just get in right away and open up an assignment, and that's going to keep you off of that issue. So just keep in mind that is some new guidelines. Attendance for this online course is based on participation. So you should have activity, homework, or test in the course each week. And non-participation, meaning you don't do anything for a whole week, gives you an absence. And you are allowed 2 weeks of that. On the third one, you could be dropped for attendance issues. So be sure you're working every week. We'll talk about the calendar at another tab. Let's talk about homework. So there is a homework assignment for every section that I have assigned, and it's really going to be helpful in prep for tests for you to have worked hard on the homework. You can work on the homework over and over till you get the grade you want. But this says once the due date passes, your score is frozen. Well, in this online course, everything's open till the last moment. So that's really not an issue for this course. Your homework will count 30% of your total average. Your test will count 50% of your average, and you do get to take each test twice. The higher of the grades will stand in your average. Before each test is available, you must have passed all the homework for that unit. So it won't even open for you if you've not passed the homework. Be sure that you understand that. And then the final exam is cumulative. You only get one try at the final, and it counts 20% of your final average. So late work, attendance, everything's due at the end, so that's really not an issue for us. So I think those are the highlights of the syllabus. You should read through that a little bit more, but we're going to go on to the other items. So next would be the calendar, which you see kind of in the instructor plan. But the thing is, there aren't really any dates other than we begin June 3rd and we end July 9th. So you get to set your schedule. If you have a really busy week and the first week you can only get 3 sections done, then that's fine. As long as you do something for attendance, you're good. But set yourself a schedule. These blocks kind of are an okay suggested schedule. You might try to do all of chapter 4 the first week and all of chapter 5 the second week. Those are algebra review type sections, so they should be familiar. And then down here we have trig. That's a good bit of stuff. 9 is short, just 3 sections. 10 is short, and 12 only has 4 sections. So you set your own path and work at your pace. If you finish in 3 weeks, then you finish. And if you finish early and you let me know, then certainly you're not going to be penalized for the attendance issue. So that is the calendar. Next would be my contact info. I've already shared that with you, but it is there. Calculator help. If you do not have a calculator, there are some apps for really good calculators, and those are good apps, so you could look there. TI Inspire, I have a whole document that helps you with some of the things that you might not know if you're doing that. So the meat of the course is right here. Problems, lecture notes, videos. So let's click there. So every section has a set of problems for you to practice before you do your homework. It's like you were in class and we would go over these. So if we go here, chapter 4, 4.1, and here is, like the first one says, find the intercepts of the following equation. And that's a quadratic, and you should know that from college algebra. There's a couple of ways to find those, but if you don't know that, then you're going to want to print this for practice, and let's go to the lecture notes and see what we have there. So we'll click on lecture notes and go to chapter 4, go to 4.1. And so this is all the notes that you would see about chapter 4, section 1, and you'd come down here, then you get to the problem set, and then I've shown you that you can reorganize that equation and then use your calculator to find the x-intercepts, and the y-intercept happens when x is 0. So this is all gone, and you just have 7 for the y-intercept. So you can see that there is work, and then sometimes you might look at this and go, okay, I see the answer, but I don't know how she got that. So let's go back and look at the last part. So the last part is the lecture videos. And if we click that, you will be taken to my YouTube channel that has a video for every section. So if we go here to chapter 4 playlist, and here is section 1. So if we clicked on that.
This is section 4.1.
And I'm going to move over to where the problems are. Okay.
I'm going to divide by this 9, and I ultimately give this as my equation. And then I've put some screenshots here, but just for this one, let's go here to the calculator. And so I put that in under Y1.
So you can see that I'm going to help you, talk you through that. So if it's really easy for you and chapter 4 is a breeze, you just zip through and you may never even have to look at my videos. But if you do, they are there, and that is a resource that I want you to use if you need it. So let's go back to the next part. So there are handouts here. If we go here, there's a trig, wonderful handout that you will want to have when you're working on trig. That's for a trig graph. Left-hand trick is for trig. A huge resource for college algebra if you have forgotten your algebra. When you get to chapter 10, these are the notes that you will want to use for that, and I would print them and use them for homework and for that test. And there is TI Inspire Help. So those are handouts that you can print and have. The e-text is here besides being up here. And then final exam review is here. And it looks similar to this and says, focus on these questions from these sections. So that will help you focus to study for that. All right. Okay, so say you've gone to 4.1 and you've looked at the problems, you looked at the lecture notes, you even watched the video, now you're ready for homework. So you click up here, and all of your homework shows up here along with your tests. So now that's because I have all assignments. If you don't see the tests, you can always click there and go specifically to tests. You'll note the due date for everything is July 9th at 6 p.m., and that's when the course will close as far as your work. You'll notice this flag reminds you that you have to have passed all the sections previous, the chapter 4 sections, or you can't open the exam. You also see on the exams, it tells you you have 2 hours, you have 2 tries. Down here on 5, you have 2.5 hours and 2 tries. Same thing with the trig test. You're back to 120 minutes on chapter 9 and 10 and 12, and then 150 minutes for the final, and you only have 1 shot. Let's go look at 4.1 and remember what we had as the first question on the problem set and lecture notes. If we go here, find the intercepts of the following equation. Well, that's just what you practiced. And so now you're going to know exactly what to do and how to work on that question. If you want to, these two have weird parts here because this is what you need. But if you click in the box, you get these icons. You may need a fraction, an exponent, all kinds of things. And if you go to more, there's even more things to work with. And so anything that you think you might need, if you need the infinity symbol, I'm looking for other things that I know you might need. Summation. So the things are there, and they won't show up unless you click in the box. So let's say that I put some gibberish here, and down here where it says check answer, I check it, and it says to find, and it gives you a kind of a hint how to go. All right? So I'm going to put a different thing. I'm just going to put a 5, and I'm going to check the answer. We still get that. The last one's going to say final check. If I haven't changed anything or I still have it wrong, I go final check, and it tells you what the correct answer was and what you put. At this point, you could do a similar question and just redo that one. Otherwise, if you went to the next question, they'll count this one wrong. Now, you can come back, excuse me, and rework it later. But if you want to rework it here, you can. Be really careful about reading directions. This says type ordered pairs. Use integers or fractions. That means it won't accept a decimal. Use a comma to separate the answers. So you see here, here's an ordered pair, then a comma. Another ordered pair, comma. If you don't put the commas, it will count it wrong. So keep that in mind to read those directions. And if I said next question, then you can see it counts that one wrong. But I could go back to it and go there, and then down at the bottom I can hit similar question, and I just get a different equation. So there's no reason you can't work on your homework enough to get the grade that you want. All right, so let's see about going back. So I think that gives you the overview. And if you, oh, I did want to show you one other thing. Let me go back here. Say we were in here and you had tried question 1 a number of times and you just can't get it. Down here at the bottom, get more help. And there's an ask my instructor. If you need help on a specific question, not a general thing, but a specific question, please use that. Get more help, ask my instructor. It's going to send me your exact question, which helps me help you. You can type in here whatever you've tried or what your issue is, and then it's just hit send. It goes straight to me, and I know it's from you. But that is the best way for me to help you with a specific question issue. All right, let's get back. So, again, I think that's going to get you started. I look forward to working with you, and I know you're going to do well, and we'll get pre-cal out of the way in about 5 weeks. Good luck.